Hey, we're back with Highway Blossoms.
We're back.
Right. So last time, we got what appears to be a metal detector and a shovel.
It sure was nice for Mariah and her friends to let us use some of their equipment.
Only after that Joseph guy begged her to. I paused to look around. We decided to wait until nightfall to go look around some more. It's like an entirely different world the further you get from the insanity. Quiet and calm, the only lights are the stars and the faint glow of the campground, the campers and motorhomes flickering in the distance. Marina fiddles with the metal detector's headphones, removing them halfway.
Sorry, this song isn't very good that it plays. What was that?
Forget it. I'm not playing that game, just keep listening.
Listening to... Oh.
Did you find something?
I think so. It's over here.
I set aside my shovel and throw myself to the ground, clawing at the sand.
No love for my idea that Marina has the headphones on and assumes that the metal detector's playing a little song.
Is this a Steve Reich piece? I've been trying to get into minimalism lately. A shiny speck sticks out of the ground. Frantically, I dig it up.
Is it the gold?
It's Monty Python's Flying Circus. I scrape harder. It's harder. It's... Finally, I unearth it and hold it up to the starlight. A soda tab. Damn it, this is the 5th one!
If we find any more, we could start making a curtain out of them.
Wait, don't tell me you've already started doing that.
I don't know, we need to find more. Be a really small curtain with 5.
I send the tab flying, speeding off over the dikes.
Maybe we should call it a night. I'm sure we can find it once we're fresh in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. We can only do it now because Parks and Rec isn't paying as much attention.
Oh, so are we like breaking the law? Are we trespassing?
Yes.
That's
unironically, yes. Though even now, someone's still guarding the area near the campground. The rocks give us some cover, so I don't think we'll be spotted, but we still need to be careful. We'll keep looking for a little while. If we can't find anything, we might want to assume the worst. Her face wrenches with hopelessness.
That somebody else found it?
That it doesn't exist!
I thought we established this last time.
It's like... Oh my God. It's like you never even considered that it might not be real.
It's like you never considered that it might be.
I did, and then I dismissed it.
But Mariah...
Yeah, I know. I grab my shovel and swing it back over my shoulder. As we walk, I stay as close to the mountain range as possible. Why are you so gung-ho about this thing anyway? If you're just in it for the cash, there are better ways to make money than dragging yourself around the desert.
There are?
Yes!
Whoa. Anyway, oh no, it's nothing like that.
Oh, really?
It's just...
Her voice trails off. It hangs over us, never fully evaporating into the cool night air. No, you can't have a sip of my coffee till I do.
Okay.
There. It's okay. Don't feel like you have to tell me. We both have things we don't want to talk about. That's becoming very clear.
This coffee's all right.
This coffee's better than pot coffee.
Yeah, that's fair.
At least Marina doesn't swerve off the road so she can go pout. I just don't want to think about it. All I've been doing for the last month is thinking about it. I almost wish my brain would quit working so I wouldn't have to. So, naturally, I take a long, lonely trip with nothing to do except think.
Amber, it's happening again.
Marina stops, hands quivering as she tightens her grip. I swear, if this is another soda tab...
I don't think it is. The beeping is really loud and it's vibrating a lot.
Oh, you reached the climax. 5th movement. Wait, it's vibrating?
Uh-huh, it feels weird.
The metal detector hovers over the ground between the rock and the sand. I thrust my shovel into the spot, metal scraping against the edge of the dike. Planting my foot in the shovel's head, I drive it further into the ground, using every ounce of my strength to dig. The first load of dirt and sand unclenches from the ground, loosening the earth around it. I throw the load aside and repeat the process. Each time it's getting a little easier, a little lighter. Finally, the shovel strikes something hard, sending a shocking vibration through my hand and up my entire body.
Bedrock?
I haven't dug that deep. Dropping to my knees, I reach my hands into the hole and brush off the remaining dirt. Marina leans in. The sound of her anxiously swallowing is barely audible over my heavy breathing. My fingers brush against something. I gulp and pull out the hole's contents. A small, rotting wood box. My heart stops. Trembling, I open up the box, the leftover dirt falling into my lap. Gold. It exists? It exists?
It exists!
Marina yells at the top of her lungs, a yell so loud that it bounces off the mountain, echoing off to the horizon and then back again. Marina has been unleashed. Not so loud, they might hear us. She lowers her voice to an excited whisper, channeling her energy into the bouncing up and down.
But it exists, I told you it did.
She's right, and despite being proven wrong, I can't help but smile. Here I thought it was going to be some plastic treasure chest with a coupon for chocolate milk inside it, or something equally shameless and corporate.
Hey, are there any coupons for chocolate milk inside?
There are no coupons. This was allegedly buried like in the 1800s, right?
Yeah?
They didn't have coupons for chocolate milk back then.
How did they live?
How do you live?
No, right? Amber!
My only warning is a quick gust of wind. Before I even have a chance to brace for it, I'm engulfed by Marina in her hug. What? What? Who? What?
It's real. I told you it was. I told you.
I stop for a second and then smile. Yeah, you were right. It's real.
Should we tell someone? What do we even do now?
Honestly? I'm not sure. It's getting pretty late, though. Let's pack it up for the night. We can think about what to do in the morning. For now, we can just marvel at the fact that it's not bogus. Sound like a plan?
It does, but...
She takes a deep, long breath, inhaling all the air around and maybe even some of mine, then releases it all at once.
It's actually really real.
Marina, quiet! They're gonna hear us! And roll credits. Thanks for coming, everyone. GG. We did it.
So, did our protagonists just loot Navajo land? Are we just gonna brush that off? We're just gonna gloss over that?
I think we're gonna gloss over the fact where a white woman just came in and took some riches off of native land. Yeah.
Okay.
I think, to be fair, I don't think it was the natives that left it there.
Yeah, I don't
think that makes it better, actually, does it?
Yeah,
no, none of this is making it better. No, we're just going to quickly brush this all aside. And
okay.
A thunderous banging wakes me from a dead sleep, rattling the entire motorhome.
Hey, I know you two are in there. You thieves better not still be sleeping.
The muffled shout leaks in from outside, followed by another voice.
Sis, it's not even 7. Can I go back to bed?
And another voice. You're better off just rolling with it, for it may as well be noon.
Open up or I swear Joe's gonna bust down this door.
Wait, what? Gee, I wonder who this could be. I roll out of bed and open up the slider connecting to the other rooms. Marina is still sitting pressed up against the back of the fold-out bed with the sheets over her head.
Who do you think it is?
Take a wild guess. I march over and throw open the door. As expected, my 3 favorite people stand before me.
It's about time. Do you have any idea how long we've been out here?
A groggy Tess sways from side to side. Joseph's gentle hands are the only thing preventing her from passing out on the ground. It's funny that you, of all people, accuse us of theft.
What else would you call what happened to my equipment?
I don't know. Borrowing? You loaned it to us, remember?
Correction. Joe loaned it to you.
Joseph gives us a tired smirk and a wave.
I was forced to sit idly by and watch you make off with it. That's theft if I've ever seen it.
She pushes me aside and clambers into the motorhome, followed by the other 2. Looks like we're coming in.
Good morning. Hey, you 3. Morning. How you guys doing?
Tired. For what it's worth, we tried stopping her. Mariah stomps to the middle of the motorhome, analyzing everything before releasing a loud scoff.
Where's my stuff?
If you don't get out of my RV in 5 seconds, it'll be shoved up your ass.
Don't worry about it. You guys are great. Hey, Tess, did you hang up your new wind chime?
Tess's eyes flicker with interest for all of a second, then return to their obstinate, droopy state.
Uh-huh. Above my bed. What's up with a fold-out? You two don't sleep together?
What? Told ya.
Damn it.
Grumbling, Mariah pulls a bill from her pocket and slaps it in Joe's hand.
Anyway, I guess that means open for the taking. So,
dude, I'm right here.
Does that mean we get to sleep in tomorrow morning?
Sure does, kiddo. Sure does. The ringleader of the circus returns to inspecting the motorhome, fiddling with the magnets on the fridge.
Anyway, give me back my equipment and we'll get out of your hair.
Come on, just let him use it. It's the least we could do after tearing apart her car. Mariah's attention returns to the counter, topped with the open box of stunning gold nuggets from the night before.
And whose fault was that? What is this?
What is what?
The thing on the counter. It almost looks like... Oh, that's the piece of the treasure we found. Ha! Yeah, right. You're kidding.
She chuckles. She stops.
She's kidding, right?
I have a devious thought and crack an equally devious smile. Nope, she's telling the truth. 100%. I wrap my arm around Mariah and bring her close. Joseph and Tess shoot each other in alarmed glances. We found it last night with your equipment. She stands there, stupefied.
No, that's impossible. You're lying.
Really now? Hey, Marina, why don't you tell her about it?
Sure thing. It started yesterday after we met. Amber looked at the journal again and thought it might be near the smaller rocks behind the bigger one. They're called Dikes, I think. Anyway, turns out she was right.
She said the word. Mariah looks down, muttering to herself.
But how? Why wouldn't he just hide it on the mountain? Doesn't make sense. If he was going back to Missouri...
Her voice diminishes until her words are reduced to lip flaps, like a mad scientist trying to figure out a complex equation. She retreats into her own little world.
Mariah?
A smidge of sympathy buds inside me. I look to Joseph and Tess, even they look a little shocked. Is she gonna be okay? I honestly don't know. Tess approaches Mariah, who is still whispering nonsense under her breath. Nonchalantly, Tess hops in front of her, her hand reaching upwards, trying to wave it in front of Mariah and bring her back out to our world. No response. Tess pulls Mariah's arms skyward, then allows them to flop down to her side. Still no response.
Huh? The hat trick! We had the hat trick!
Sorry there, I had to go for the trifecta. You know, we've been looking into that treasure since we were kids. Joseph sips up to the counter and stares into the box. Never expected someone else to find it before us. That's more than I can say. I didn't even think it existed. There's that too. He sighs, then with a shrug cracks a smile. Well, good job anyway. You ladies seem cool, so if it couldn't be us, at least it was you.
You guys want to stick around? We could tell you more about it.
He looks at Mariah. Somehow I don't think that would be healthy for her. Or you. He grabs Mariah by the shoulders and begins pushing her towards the exit. Come on, Mariah, let's go make you a nice cold Michelada. Help me. Help me, I'm drowning. Throw me a lifeline here.
I believe Michelada.
A nice cold Michelada. You two can keep the equipment. Think of it as an apology gift. Because cheaply made tools I could get at anywhere hardware store are of equal value to a car. They're almost out of the motorhome when Mariah flips and rushes back.
Sorry, it's a ch.
Michelada?
Michelada.
Michelada. Cool.
Beer, lime juice, assorted sauces, spices, tomato juice, etc.
Nice.
Hold on a minute, Thief.
She looks at me straight in the eyes, her expression returning to that of a piercing hawk.
You just had beginner's luck. You might have found the first piece, but I promise you, me and my team will find the rest.
There's more? She extends a hand and smirks. I pause for a moment, then grab it and offer a smirk of my own. You're on. Have we checked to see if it's pyrite or not yet? We checked the one that Michaela, we checked the one that she gave to gave to us as like a test, but we didn't check the ones we found yet, did we? All
yeah,
right.
I don't know.
Marina and Joseph both let out a sigh of relief as if they've just witnessed the signing of a peace treaty. Well, I guess that takes care of that.
Now let's get out of here and go back to a proper base. Are you going to drink until you feel better again, sis?
Oh, poor Mariah.
Shut up. Didn't Mom ever teach you any manners? You always said Mom is an airheaded ditz who wouldn't know good advice or a good man if it bit her on the butt. Oh, yeah.
Sorry for all the trouble, ladies. See you two down the road. Joseph pulls the door closed. Marina and I stay put as the bickering of the trio
That's
fades
a
into
good
the
smug face.
That's a great smug face.
Hmm.
That's a great smug face.
Were you serious?
Huh? About what?
The treasure. You told Mariah that you were going to find the rest. If you were just being nice and want to leave now, that's fine too. You've already done a lot for me.
She casts her eyes downwards to hide her emotions, but I know better by now. And let you keep all the treasure for yourself? Hell no! Her eyes bounce back. Besides, someone's got to keep you from getting yourself into trouble.
Yeah, someone really does.
I can't leave you alone for more than a few minutes.
It's dangerous.
You need to be under constant supervision. May as well be me.
For real? For realsies? But don't you have the festival to go to?
It's still a little while away. Wanted to do some sightseeing anyway. Marina launches forward. Before I can sidestep, she tackles me with the force of a gold-filled freight train. I don't even try to resist. It's futile in the grace of Marina's hugs.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Actually, I probably owe you an apology. She cocks her head and looks up at me. I look away, my bashful side taking over. Well, you know, I kept saying it wasn't real and stuff.
Hey, don't worry about it. Most people wouldn't even have given me the time of day.
Yeah, but...
Speaking of which, what time of day is it?
Oh, right, you don't have a phone. I don't have a phone. What time is it?
Anyway, relax. Just figure out where we have to go next.
I smile.
I'll be here also.
We walk to the front of the RV and take our seats. Grabbing the journal from the glove compartment, I flip it open.
We've got a great division of labor, you and I. You find the treasure, and I'm here.
I glance over to the second to last entry. Key phrases like split path, detour, and acres of identical arched stone throw my brain into the deep end, drowning me in dizzying puzzles before I've even fully read it. Are we going to Arches? Marina peeks over, trying to decipher the entries with me. A speck of inadequacy crawls up inside me, and I quickly flip to the next entry before Marina notices I'm stuck. I'll deal with that later. For now, we'll just narrow this down.
Much has happened since my last entry, so let me waste no time in beginning. As I mentioned previously, I had begun to develop a cough of sorts during my travels. At the time, I thought nothing of it, just a result of being overexposed to the elements. After all, a handsomely rugged and worldly man such as myself should be used to such things. But I digress. Unfortunately, the more I continued under the blazing sun, the more my condition worsened, until finally my body gave out. The last thing I remember is falling off my steed. Sometime later, I awoke next to a fire with my horse nearby. I myself could not move as I was held down by illness and sweat, but I was reassured by a man sitting across from me. Upon further inspection, I realized he was a native of this land. I had several encounters with people of his sort during my time on the wagon trail, so naturally I was suspicious and fearful for the remainder of my gold, seeing as I'm a racist and so on.
I mean, we all knew it. We were all thinking it.
However, the man said he had no interest in such things. A dry, quiet fella. The man told me his name was Lamasi and that I was in a canyon his people occupied, although they had been driven to a different segment of it some years back. His English was quite fluent, and when I inquired, he said he had learned from settlers as a boy. Over the next several days, Lamasi would nurse me back to health. We would never stray too far, as he preferred looking after his estranged tribe from a distance, but I was able to explore portions of his home. Eventually, I stumbled upon a long, ruined home built into a cave on the side of the mountain. According to Lamasi, there are many more like it, though they originally belonged to enemies of his ancestors. It was then that I realized where I would leave the next portion of my bounty. On my last day with him, I informed Lamasi of my plans, where he casually promised to guard it for me until I returned. But before I left, he pointed me in the direction of a sacred landmark, one so giant and huge it would simultaneously be a conspicuous and inconspicuous hiding place. With that knowledge, I bid farewell to my new friend and trusted the gold in his care. Perhaps I will reward him with some of it on the return trip. You're my Lamasi, Amber.
What? Suddenly, my chest feels like a hummingbird is fluttering around in it. I shift my eyes away from her smile and hide my face. Thanks, I guess. When you strip away the circumstances, I guess I did save and protect her like that Lamasi guy did with the miner.
A gorge is like a canyon, right?
Marina leans in closer and points to the entry. Strands of her soft hair tickling my cheek. I scoot back and power through it, taking a sharp breath to recollect myself. Basically, yeah. Marina nearly springs out of her seat in a burst of realization, her head an inch away from smacking into the ceiling.
Oh my god!
Oh, your god!
Does that mean we get to go to the Grand Canyon? Do we get to go to the Grand Canyon, Amber?
Not unless history decides to rewrite itself. There are lots of canyons with ruins. One of them is the Grand Canyon, but most of them have been cleaned out for hundreds of years. I choked down a groan. Indian ruins aren't exactly rarities around here. Maybe that other entry wasn't so bad after all. So we're looking for a place that was still being used in the 1850s. Oh no. It's the Yuri police. They've come to grab us. Actually, I don't even know if those will pick up on the microphone anymore.
Yeah, we'll see. This will be a good test.
If you heard sirens, that means that they still got picked up on the microphone, which is sad, but hopefully you didn't. Marina hunkers down and thinks with me, wrinkles forming on her forehead as she tries to strain out an answer. Pretty sure she doesn't even know where to start, but hey, at least she's trying. Well, there is one place. Marina hardly gets a breath out before I crush her dreams once again. Not the Grand Canyon. She slinks back into her chair and quietly pouts. Still in Arizona, but it's a different place. Canyon de Chinle. Chinle?
Never heard of it.
Chinle? The Navajo weren't chased out until 1863, so the timing isn't too screwy. Place is loaded with ruins, too.
Oh, are they Pueblo in ruins?
My flow of information stops. She knows what I'm talking about? She can actually pronounce it? Yeah, I'm surprised you knew that.
Yep, I've been reading some of those travel guides lying around. Super interesting.
Yeah, why is it you read travel guides anyway? That's weird. You tried reading a novel? Those things must be about as old as I am by now. I didn't have the heart to throw them away when I was cleaning everything out. Oh. Okay, that makes more sense then. That kind of reading. I gotcha. Hey, that's how I did it. It's the best way to learn. Anyway, Canyon de Chinle is pretty damn close to here. She gasps.
So it might have lined up with the route he took.
Well, I can't be 100% positive, but... I close my eyes and snap the book shut, the air between the pages puffing out at us. Then with one eye open, shoot Marina a grin. I am pretty sure. Arizona's highways are infamously boring. Nothing but hills, up, down, up, down. There's nothing interesting to look at. Both sides of the road are smothered in nondescript shrubs. It's part of the country where you just zone out and drive on autopilot. When we finally see a sign for the town of Chinle right next to the canyon, it feels like we're approaching the promised land. Marina looks up from the book she's reading just in time to miss the sign.
Was that it? Are we there yet?
Nah, 40 miles still to go. About half an hour. They're going 80 miles an hour? Jesus! I know it's flat and there's nothing out there, but still. She makes a sound like a popped balloon and goes back to reading. We take an exit and a tiny excuse for a town, one of those places that has a gas station and a few old houses. It's like in Monopoly, where you buy up all the property you can, even though it's not that great.
This is it?
Wow, rude. Marina repeats her earlier question as I slow down to turn left. Nope, almost. I don't even know what this place is called. She makes the popped balloon noise again, but leaves the book closed. When we finally reach Chinle, it's pretty obvious. This is the first real town we've seen in hours. The outskirts are industrial, dominated by what I assume are factories. A pair of stray dogs lope along the side of the road, hungry and lean. Marina makes a sound of sympathy, pressing her face against the glass as we passed by them.
Hey, Amber.
No, we're not getting a dog.
But they're so cute, and we could dress him up in a bandana and...
No way. I've never got why people want to dress their pets up like people.
It's cute.
It's weird. If you wanted a people, then get a people.
Oh.
See, like I got you.
I see.
I wanted a Marina, now I have a Marina. Marina pouts. I figured she was just joking, but she didn't actually think I would let her get a dog, right? Seems that all is forgiven by the time I pull into a gas station. She's bouncing in her seat with her usual enthusiasm, or maybe it's her bladder. My second guess must have been correct, because as soon as I shut off the engine, she darts out of the RV and into the store. Is there really not a restroom in this?
Oh.
She said she had a bathroom.
Yeah.
I guess using it while you're moving is probably not the best idea, for several reasons.
Huh? Could be fine.
While she does that, I fuel up. No telling when we'll see the next gas station. Could be 100 miles, and this thing drinks gasoline like a thirsty dog drinks water. By the time I finish, Marina still isn't back, so I lock up and head inside. The store is devoid of other customers. It's unremarkable, with the usual selection of candy, chips, and overpriced beef jerky. I'm not hungry, just passing time. Soon Marina trots out of the bathroom, glancing around. She spots me and heads over. Want anything?
Duh. Let's see.
I leave her to agonize over the candy bars while I flip through some of the travel brochures beneath the window. There are a couple about Canyon to Chinle, which is our destination just up the road. There are flyers for other Arizona attractions too, including the non-local ones. Of course, there are a few brochures for the Grand Canyon, plus a couple must-see sites in Phoenix, the capital. There's even an ad for a novelty just called The Thing in Tucson, but that's far out of our way. Do you know what that is?
No.
No, I have no idea what that's...
I've always wanted to see a thing. I've never seen things before.
In the sense that you can't recognize things as they are, or that...
Silly Billy. No one can recognize the things in itself. Haven't you read Kant?
I was wondering if that's where you were going with this. I love you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I turn around. Marina has a couple king-sized candy bars in her hands and one large bottle of Coke tucked under her arm. You seriously need all that?
I thought we could share.
She gives me her best offended puppy impression. Fine. I still don't want anything, but I can't say no to that. Here, I'm going to use the bathroom too. Meet you at the car. I place my wallet atop of the pallet of candy she's carrying and send her towards the attendant. When I come back out of the bathroom, Marina's still talking to the clerk. There's a bag in her hand, so she must have already finished paying and gotten distracted talking. I joined the two of them. Closed off, so only the guided tours are open right now. Marina looks like she's seen a ghost. What's up? Take from my wallet from where it's just sitting forgotten on the counter.
I was just asking about the canyon and the tours and stuff.
The clerk nods. Yep, I was just saying, if you're going to sightsee, you might have some trouble. A lot of closed off because of all the kids coming and causing trouble looking for treasure. Damn. I'm not surprised, but that's frustrating. What isn't closed off? Well, there are still some tours you can go on. Most of them, I think, but you can't do the self-guided ones. Marina looks at me, eyes wide. Clearly, she's expecting some solution from me. I just smile at the attendant. Got it. Thank you. And lead a dumbstruck Marina out of the store. As I unlock the RV, Marina prances around me.
What are we going to do?
Well, I am going to take a nap. She stops.
Huh?
I'm tired, so I'm going to nap for a little bit. I checked one of the pamphlets and there's a tour at 6:30, so we'll just join that and then sneak off.
Like on our own?
Yeah? Her eyes go wide again.
Amber, you're a genius.
I twist a lock of my hair around my finger and glance away. Her constant compliments are a little embarrassing, especially for stuff that seems obvious to me. Thanks, it's not much of a plan, though.
Yeah, but at least it's a plan. I thought we were going to have to just give up or something.
Nah, rules are made to be broken and all that. I feel a bit guilty by that we'll be breaking rules specifically put in place because of people like us, but I can safely say that we'll be more careful than the average treasure hunter. Just picturing Mariah, I can easily see her smashing down ancient ruins in her search. Yeah, but wake me up at 5:30 unless you're going to nap too?
Nope, I'm not tired anymore, so I'll just read some more.
All right, good night.
Night, night.
I leave her up in the front as I head back to my bed and fall into it. After bunching up my blankets around me, it doesn't take long to fall asleep. GG! We did it! Woo!
Sleep percent speedrun complete.
Yeah! World Recce. I wake up slowly, fighting to keep my eyes open. In the back of my head, I feel like something is wrong. It takes a minute before I realize I've overslept. It's 5:45. Marina was supposed to wake me up 15 minutes ago. Marina! I call her name but get no response. Rolling out of bed, I massage my eyes and stumble up towards the front. Of course, she's asleep, sprawled out on the dash with her head buried in her arms. Looks like she's been out for a while. Jerking her by the shoulder, I shake her awake.
What's up, Amber?
Her speech is slurred by sleepiness. I ignore the temptation to make the not you joke. How's that book you're reading?
It's great. I just put it down to...
A look of shock spreads across her face. Mounting horror takes over as she realizes the time.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I was just gonna nap, but then I forgot to set an alarm, to wake me up.
Yeah, that's what alarms are for. Freaking out, she hurriedly tries to buckle her seatbelt, failing several times in her frenzy. I pat her on the shoulder as I sit down. It's not even a big deal, but she's so worked up. It's cool. We're not late yet. Ready to go? Marina just nods, staring at the floor. I buckle up and turn the key. The engine roars to life, and I throw it in reverse, to crane my neck to make sure I don't run over anyone. Road signs direct us out of town and towards the canyon. After spending so long on the highway, going down these streets with the lower speed limits feels restrictive. From the corner of my eye, I watch Marina. She's being abnormally quiet. She fixes her hair, pops her knuckles, rubs her shoulders, but she doesn't say anything. Finally, I cave. What is wrong with you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Her tone of voice is stressed. Maybe more intimidating than I think. You're being weird. Super quiet.
Oh, I didn't know if you were mad at me or not.
What? For falling asleep? She nods. No, I'm not mad. Trust me, you'd know for sure if I was. I told you it wasn't a big deal, didn't I?
You promise?
Yeah, I promise. Marina bounces in her seat, immediately cheerier.
Okay, cool. 'Cause, if you were mad at me already, that would be a bad sign.
Sign of what?
That we wouldn't be good partners, treasure hunting buddies.
Oh, we're partners now, are we? You're the sidekick, right?
No way, I'm totally the main character. We're here because of me.
I laugh, causing her to turn away smiling. She's a lot cuter when she smiles. I've been smiling more too, I realize. As I think that, it starts to make me sad again. Do I really deserve to be smiling right now?
Hey, Amber?
Huh? Like she read my mind, Marina snaps me out of it.
Can we listen to Super Crush again?
I don't know that one. You seriously liked that one? Super Crush was one of those groups that Gramps loved to show off to other people because they were so weird. All the members played a different instrument on each album, so it was like a whole other band every time.
Yeah, it was different, but in a good way.
I need to look this up to see whether or not this exists. Wikipedia. Super hot. Super
What?
hot. No, but I did find an article for Crush 40.
I see.
Yeah, if it's a real band, it's not showing up on Wikipedia, and I'm not digging deeper than that while we're live. That's definitely true. With one hand on the steering wheel, I dig around in the bin of my tapes by my feet. I flip my gaze between that and the road. Eventually, I find the one I'm looking for. It has a Halloween orange case with text that looks like slime. When it starts to play, Marina hums along. She's almost on key. Guess she liked it enough to remember how the songs go. I crank the volume up, earning a grin from Marina. The sound is tinny and distorted at this level. More distorted than usual, I mean, but it's also more fun. Our smiles last all the way until we roll into a nearly empty parking lot. As I turn the volume back down, I can tell she's thinking the same thing I am.
Amber?
Yeah?
Shouldn't there be, other people waiting here?
There probably should. What time is it? Marina twists around to check.
6:20.
What the hell? Did they start early? There are other cars around, but they're all unoccupied. My parking job is hasty, and I take up 2 spaces, but don't bother to correct it. Oh, look at the background. We hurry out of the RV. I almost forget the key in the ignition and have to double back to grab it. Marina's already over at an information desk, probably talking to a ranger. But then she turns back to me, the despair on her face visible even though it's getting dark.
There's no one here.
There aren't any lights on inside either. Probably closed at 6. I vaguely recall reading that in a brochure, but I thought there would still be someone around for the tours. Don't panic. I jog back to the RV and unlock it again. Rummaging through the glove box, I pull out the little blue flashlight that Gramps gave me a few years ago. I click it on and off a couple times to make sure it still works. After I lock everything back up again, I join Marina by the unhelpful help desk. She's bouncing on her heels, hands clasped together. Hey. It's all right. Worst comes to worst, we'll just do it tomorrow.
But what if someone else finds the treasure tonight?
No one else found the first one, and that was in a really obvious spot in retrospect, so
I know. It's pretty weird that no one found that, huh?
I don't have an answer for that one. Guess we'll just have to catch up then, huh? Turning on the flashlight, I swing the beam around. While there's still some daylight left, it isn't much. Maybe half an hour at the most.
Catch up to what?
The tour group, silly. Even if we're late, they can't have left that long ago, and they'll be stopping a bunch, so we should be able to find them easily.
By ourselves?
Her voice is almost a squawk, like a surprised parrot. Well, yeah, I don't see anyone else around, do you? I swivel around, illuminating nothing but rocks and bushes. Come on, it'll be fine. It's not like there are going to be bears or mountain lions this close to the parking lot.
Those kinds of things live here?
If she didn't know that, then what is she afraid of? Probably. I don't know, but come on, we're wasting time.
I was afraid of Bigfoots. But you didn't tell me there were bears here.
More than one Bigfoot.
Yeah?
Okay. Just double checking. So Bigfoot isn't like a singular being. There's a race of beings called Bigfoot. Big feet, if you will.
Yeah? Probably?
Okay. Not Yeti or anything else like that, but big feet.
I'll have you know that Bigfoots aren't Yetis. That's a different cryptid.
Cryptid currency? What are you doing looking at a page full of like archaic runes? I'm mining for cryptid currency. Marina whimpers. Then, surprising me, she grabs my hand. Hers is sweaty and warm. I turn and look at her and meet her wide eyes. Looks like she might cry, and it makes me regret being so pushy. We don't have to do it if you don't want to. She shakes her head but clings to me like a kid, her free hand buried in my clothes. If it were any brighter out, she'd see my face turn red.
No, like I said, if we don't go now, someone else will beat us to it. Just stay close, okay?
Yeah, of course. She lets me lead but doesn't let go of my hand. A large wooden sign marks the start of the trail. So, are you scared of the dark? No answer. But you were fine at Shiprock.
That was different.
Marina's arm jerks, but she doesn't let go.
That was in a town with people and roads and no mountain lions and plenty of Bigfoots.
The temptation to tease her more is strong, but I don't. Every time a bird caws or something makes the brush shake, I feel her flinch a little. Somehow, even this side of her is cute too. A little childish, sure, but it's nice to have her rely on me to keep her safe. To take her mind off things, I make small talk. So what are you going to do once you're finally filthy rich from all the treasure?
Sorry, what?
Ask what you're going to do with your share of the treasure.
Oh, I'm not too sure yet. I haven't thought about it.
We're out here looking and you don't even have a plan for it?
It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. What about you, huh?
I don't know either.
See, I'm not...
Yeah, but I wasn't planning on looking for it, you know? I haven't spent as much time thinking about it. I glance behind me to see Marina stick her tongue out. I laugh. But, let's see. I definitely need to pay off Gramps' hospital and funeral expenses. After that, I guess I should probably get the motorhome fixed up. It's not going to break down on us or anything, but it's kind of old.
Why not just buy a new one?
Hell no! My response comes out snappier than I intended. It's just that it has the sentimental value, you know? I'd rather keep that than buy a newer, better car. I grew up in that thing. I could never just replace it. Then I'd probably just keep doing what I was doing before I met you.
And what's that?
Faffing about. Wandering.
Don't you want to stop wandering sometime?
My steps slow a bit. It's an innocent question, but it hits me hard. Not yet, no. I whisper it. Marina catches up next to me, dropping my hand as she does so.
At least I'm not the only one without a goal.
I poke her in the side and she squirms away a couple feet.
Ow!
Dork. It's hard to stay sad around her. As we turn around a curve in the road, the tour group comes into view. Just ahead is a cluster of people, most of them armed with flashlights. It's hard to know for sure, but I can see at least a dozen different figures. The tour guide is shining his light up at a rock face, illuminating some designs on it, and everyone has their backs to us. Try to be as sneaky as possible. We want to join up without them noticing, like we've been there the whole time. If anyone notices us show up, they might notice when we leave.
Hey everybody, we've been here the whole time! Why do we have to join up in the first place?
I don't know how to get to the ruins we're looking for. We'll stay with the group until the tour gets there, and then we'll sneak off. Marina nods. Okay, follow my lead, and remember, be as quiet as you can. We creep forward slowly. If someone were to turn around and see us, we'd look pretty suspicious, but nobody does. The lecture on petroglyphs gets their full attention. Marina kicks a rock, and I tense up, expecting that to break the spell, but we're close enough now that if it did, it might not matter. As we reach the back of the tour group without anyone noticing, I give Marina a thumbs up, which she returns.
Anasazi Ruins. Some of the Navajo people still call the area home. There's a living community in the canyon who...
I'm not too interested in hearing about the history of the place, so I turn back to Marina. She's looking up at the pictures too, though her eyes appear glazed over. When she catches me staring, she blinks and then smiles. I smile back, though I must look like an idiot just watching her instead of the lecture. After a minute, the guide's speech concludes and we start to walk down the trail. Much to my dismay, before I can say anything to Marina, the woman in front of us turns around.
Well, isn't that just crazy?
Huh? It takes a second for me to understand that she's talking to me. She fits just about every other stereotype of redneck, from the huge hat on her head to the baby
Accent switch.
Accent switch?
Yeah.
Okay. She'd probably be attractive if not for the layers of sunscreen coating her face. Even though it's nearly nighttime, they make her look like a ghost.
I said, isn't that just crazy? What he was saying about those Indians and how they used to communicate with each other.
Oh, yeah. Even if I had wanted to talk to her, I still have no idea what the guide had said.
They were just so darn clever. Really makes you wonder how they all ended up dying out, huh? I wonder if that was our fault.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them are still alive, and like some of them live here, in this canyon. I'd heard that much at least, but apparently not everyone did. For a second, the woman looks at me like I'm crazy, but then she busts up laughing.
Sorry, you're absolutely right. I was thinking of them Aztecs down in Mexico.
You are just a lot to deal with, lady. Her laugh is more like a bray. She sounds like a farm animal. In my head, I keep hoping she'll turn back around and leave us alone. But we're not so lucky. She keeps on chatting us up as we follow the trail. I'm self-conscious about how noisy she's being compared to the low noise level of the others.
Say, is that where the name Texas comes from? From Aztec?
Oh, we are just swinging for the fences today, are we? Before I can answer, she started shouting at someone else.
Howard! Hey, Howard, come over here!
By now, nearly everyone is looking at us.
Ma'am, can you please keep your voice down? Oops, sorry.
She apologizes loudly. So much for staying inconspicuous. Howard makes his way over. He looks rather defeated, face drooping and shoulders sagging. I figure he's the woman's husband. He looks like an aged 45 Kirito sword art
That's
online.
exactly what I was thinking. He looks like Kirito after he had to give up on death games and get an office job for 20 years. Kirito changes from sword fighting to accountant class and ages to age 40 instantly.
Yes, dear.
I was just talking to this girl here about history, and I was wondering, does the name Texas have anything to do with the Aztecs, since the words sound kind of similar?
I don't think so.
Huh, go figure.
She crackles again. Beside her, Howard sighs. For his sake, I hope her family is loaded or something. Every time she laughs, the baby on her chest bounces, but the lucky kid sleeps right through it all. Maybe he's used to this.
Anyway, I must have left my manners back in Wisconsin, where they speak like this, I hope. My name's Linda, and this is my husband, Howard. I don't know what a Wisconsin accent sounds like, I'm sorry, so I'm not going to accent switch a second time.
It's alright, it's alright. They can have whatever accent they want.
This little champ right here.
I mean, to be honest, it's probably closer to like a Minnesotan accent, which is very close to a Canadian one. She thrusts herself and the baby towards me.
Is Dino.
Wouldn't it be Dino?
Dino, short for dinosaur. Ain't that just the cutest name?
I grunt in response. I'm trying to see around her up to where the guide is alternating between shooting Linda death glares and trying to narrate the walk. If you said anything useful about the canyon in the past couple of minutes, I've missed it entirely. Glancing over at Marina, who has pulled away a couple of feet, it looks like she's enjoying my torture in struggling silence. Tears have formed at the corners of her eyes, glittering in the dying light. They're the good kind of tears, the kind from laughing too much. Her hand is smushed over her mouth like she's shaking with the effort of staying silent. No way I can let her get away with that, especially since I need to get closer to the front for now. I grab her arm and tug her over into Linda's line of sight. I'm Jane. The enthusiasm in my voice is so forced. And this is my friend, Lacey. I use fake names just to be safe. Marina limply shakes Linda's hand, which has grabbed hers. The mirth has vanished from Marina's face. Good.
Nice to meet you.
Linda pumps her arm like a guillotine, grinning broadly and yet still managing to walk.
It's so good to see young people taking an interest in nature and history and all that. Are y'all from around here? We're originally from Tennessee, but moved to Wisconsin and...
Having been properly introduced, I leave Marina to suffer through the family history. I shift away and walk ahead, passing by most of the tour group so that I can better hear the guide. For a while, he talks about the wildlife and history of the park. After a couple of minutes, though, the lessons become more relevant.
We'll be coming up on the Mummy Cave ruins here in just a little bit. That's one of the better-known sites in the canyon. 700 years ago, it was a bustling pueblo and village. We can't get too close to the ruins, so unfortunately it might be a little too late to really see them clearly tonight. While the Mummy Cave itself hasn't ever been open to the public...
That's all I needed to know, so I start to slip back towards Marina like looks like she's still being held hostage by the tales of Wisconsin family adventures. Linda notices me approaching.
Oh, Jane, there you are. I was just telling Lacey about one of the cows I helped birth when I was younger.
I crave for the death games of my youth.
I can't get over it.
I'm not sure how the conversation went from introductions to cow birth in such a short span of time, but I'm not curious enough to ask. When I rejoin Marina, she mouths two words.
Save me.
I don't know how to get out of this one. Annoyance aside, it'll be impossible to slip away with Linda's attention on us. But it seems we're in luck as we go around another bend of the road. Something more interesting than Marina comes into view.
Oh, Howard, look. This is it. This is those mama ruins I was telling you about.
Linda elbows forward, moving ahead of us.
You girls make sure you get a good spot. You're going to want to see this, even if it's dark out.
Yes, dear. I'll be coming now, dear. She forges ahead, her husband trailing dutifully. As he passes, I think I hear him say, sorry, though I'm not certain. You're not going to have any of this coffee?
I had some.
Okay.
I sipped it. Thank you for sharing.
Imagine they're sipping coffee out of an Nalgene. Once they're out of earshot, Marina makes a sound.
Can you do that? Can you put coffee in an Nalgene? Is that fine?
I have no idea. Probably.
I feel like it'd fuck up the Nalgene.
Maybe not a Nalgene then, but any of those like temperature-resistant bottles.
Maybe you can put.
They make hot, cold
Nalgene.
bottles. They make stuff that's meant to be resistant to both hot and cold temperatures.
Yeah, people told me various old wives' tales about what stuff's safe and not safe to put in an Nalgene, and I don't know what's what.
Fair enough. Once they're out of earshot, Marina makes it sound like a train letting go of steam.
Oh my god, I thought I was gonna explode. My ears or my head or my brain or something.
Saw you laughing and figured it wasn't fair if I was the only one who suffered.
I'd take it all back if I could. Seriously though, first she was talking about herself, then about her kid, then about her childhood, and then she started talking about growing up on a farm. Somehow she ended up going on about cows having babies and how messy it all is. I don't even know.
What, you're not interested in that stuff?
Ew, no. Gross, gross, gross.
She wrinkles up her face as she says it. I giggle, but then turn serious real fast. Okay, but listen. Because it's dark, the group probably isn't going to stop to look at the mummy cave ruins for very long. So we'll have to wait until we can sneak away again, then go over there ourselves.
How far away are they?
No idea. I can't see from here, just follow my lead again.
Got it.
We've been at the very back of the group the entire time. The people right in front of us are much less interested in us than Linda was, so I don't think anyone will notice if we go missing. When we reach a railing, the guide stops to point out the ruins. They're across a small valley, a couple 100 yards away. In the darkness, it's almost impossible to see them. They're just a stark smudge against the even darker backdrop of a mountain. Marina and I are a few yards away from the group, too. I pretend to inspect something on a rock, though there's nothing there. As the short speech ends and the guide starts to lead everyone on again, I dart behind a rock and crouch down. Marina quickly follows. I can see her start to say something, but I cut my hand over her mouth before she can get a word out. Silently, I shake my head. Marina nods twice, so I uncover her face. In my head, I count to 60. Once a minute has passed, I peel myself away from the rock and stand back up. We should be safe now. Marina's face lights up and she claps her hands. I notice she's taken out a journal page with a hiding spot again.
That was so cool. It was like something out of a video game where you just sneak away right in front of everyone.
Well, you know me, I try to sneak around, but...
Yeah, the clap of your ass cheeks alerting the tour guide.
You know.
I know how it is.
I guess so, but we still can't be noisy. They're not going to be that far away. No flashlights either. This close up, I can see her face fall flat. Don't worry, I'll be right beside you. I also like the music. It's got this very, 70s spy film vibe with that flute line going on. You get me.
Are we just gonna hop the fence and walk over there?
Unless you have any better ideas.
What if they catch us?
Then they'll throw us out.
We're not gonna get arrested for trespassing or anything, are we?
Nah, that'd be too much trouble for them. I say that, although I don't actually know.
Okay.
The uncertainty in her voice is obvious. I grab the paper from her hands and stuff it into my pocket. Let's go. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that they'll notice us missing. I stroll over to the metal rail, hoping that I sound more confident than I am. Honestly, this is pretty risky and more than a little stupid, but it's also exciting. I duck down and underneath the rail. After a moment, Marina does the same. We're officially out of bounds. Suddenly, I fall through the earth
skip.
as there's no more collision at. Across the small field, I can just barely make out the shape of the ruins. They sit close to the mouth of a large cave that runs up the mountain like a scar. Okay, come on. There's an incline, but it's not too bad. Next to me, Marina spreads her arms out for balance, but I'm confident enough to not need to. Crossing over to the ruins themselves will be the riskiest part. There's no cover, and anyone who happens to look over will see us. We just have to hope the tour group has moved us somewhere without a line of sight on us. Okay, hurry. I grab Marina's hand and start to run. She struggles to keep up, so I slow down a little bit. It takes maybe 2 minutes from one end to the other. When we reach the far wall, Marina's breathing is strained. Don't do much running, do you?
Not at all.
Every word is punctuated with a pant. I'm winded too, but I fight my lungs to not show it. I have to look strong for Marina after all. Ready for the fun part? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Ready for the fun part?
Is it actually fun?
No!
Oh.
Not yet. We still got to get up there. I point to the lip of a cave, a good 50 feet or so above us still. Marina's face goes pale as she stares at the sheer walk wall in front of us.
We are not gonna have to climb that, are we?
How else? I wait a second for the shock to hit her face before I laugh and shake my head. Just kidding. Come over here. A short distance away is a slope, somewhat steep but not too long. It leads up into part of the cave that's close to the ruins. We actually do have to go up this one. Her face still looks doubtful.
I don't know if I can get up that.
Sure you can. It's easy. Look. I hike up a couple of steps. Dirt and gravel tumble down past my feet, but it's mostly stable. It's almost all dirt. If it was loose rock, we'd be in trouble. Looking uncertain, Marina takes a careful step in behind me, then another. then slides back down a little bit with each step. Try to spread your weight out a little more evenly. You don't want to lose your balance and fall over. By doing what I say, she's able to reach where I'm standing. Good job. Now just do that like 50 more times. Marina groans, but I've already started. I glance back behind me. She's trailing only a couple of steps back. For all her worrying, she's doing okay. I'm just about to compliment her when I feel the earth shift beneath me and my foot slides loose. With a yelp, I lose my balance, arms flailing as I try not to fall. Then, faster than I can process, Marina's arm shoots out and grabs my sleeve. She tugs me back upright.
Are you okay? Oh my god, is your ankle alright? It's not broken, is it?
Panic is clearly painted across her face. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. The only thing injured is my pride.
Are you sure?
Yes, thanks. Good save. We climb up the rest of the way together, but slowly. At the top, both of us stretch and catch our breath. Ah, that wasn't so bad, was it?
Besides the part where you almost died, maybe?
I didn't almost die. I almost slipped and fell and had to do it again. I didn't almost die. Besides, that's what I have my sidekick for. Punch. She gives me a playful shove.
Hey, I told you I'm not the sidekick here.
Uh-huh. You still have to earn the title of captain. Or commander? Whatever it is. And you could do that by finding this thing before I do. Now that we're actually up in the ruins themselves, it's more clear just how tough this is going to be. The cave stretches a long way like a deep scar in the mountain. Delicate clay buildings, some barely as tall as we are arranged throughout. They say this was a village, but it's hard to imagine anyone living here. Everything is so cramped and small.
Where do you think we should start?
Hard to say. Won't be anywhere obvious. Remember, people have been studying this place for decades.
What if someone already found it, like a long time ago?
I shrug, but that's probably impossible to see. The sun has now gone entirely down, leaving us in shadowed darkness. Wonder why Marina doesn't seem bothered by it this time. If they did, then I haven't heard anything about it. We just gotta start looking. Try to be careful, though.
I feel bad being here. Maybe this was a bad idea.
Be super careful, then. And watch for spiders. I flick on the spare flashlight and pass it to her, just in time to see the look of disgust at the mention of spiders. We split up, staying close to each other, but not overlapping where we look. I get down on my hands and knees, shining light into every corner and cranny that I can. I worry that our lights might be visible from a distance, even though they aren't very powerful. The only alternative would be sneaking over in broad daylight, and we'd be much more likely to get caught then. I'm not finding anything except dirt. I brush my fingers along the clay bricks in hopes of finding a loose stone or some secret compartment, but there's nothing like that. Nearby, Marina's doing the same thing. She's hitched up her dress so that it doesn't drag on the ground. I force myself to look away rather than stare. She offers quite a view, though. After a moment, Marina giggles. I'm not sure why. I haven't spoken at all because I don't want her voice to echo in the cave and give us away, but silently searching gets tedious fast, so I decide to try whispering. What's so funny?
I don't know. Everything, I guess. I was just thinking how weird this is. Like, it's just so random, you know?
All right, Aristotle.
Who's that?
Never mind. But yeah, it is kind of crazy. Deciding that the building I was scouring is a lost cause, I move on to the next one.
I know it's probably not a big deal for you since you do this stuff all the time, but this is honestly the most fun I've ever had, I think.
Destroying ancient Native American landmarks?
I'm being careful, super careful, but just in general, being out here on the road. I thought maybe I was making a mistake when I left, but not anymore.
Let's not say that. You still definitely made some mistakes out there.
None. Marina did nothing wrong.
Don't turn that into a hashtag. I'm
Hashtag
glad.
Marina did nothing wrong.
And I am. I really am. I guess it worked out well for both of us. I can't see her from here, but I know she's smiling. Then she giggles again.
Aw, Amber, you're a big old softie after all, aren't you?
What? Am not. I take it back. I should have left you on the side of the road. This time we both laugh. After that, we lapse back into near silence. Just the sound of us crawling around or occasionally moving into another building to search.
That organ solo.
Yeah, right? Soon the happy atmosphere starts to dissolve as we start getting frustrated. At least I do. Takes maybe 20 minutes before we looked over all the buildings. There aren't too many, and combing over them isn't hard. But we don't find anything. Not even a clue or a hint that we're in the right spot. Sighing through my nose, I start double-checking some of the larger homes. The crawling and bending is starting to take a toll on me. When I straighten up, my back is sore and sweat presses my hair to my forehead. Should have brought some bottles of water with us. Yeah, you should have. You went out into the fucking desert without water? Jesus. I lean against a rock wall and massage my shoulders. Marina finishes up on a building, then joins me. She's biting her lip, frowning a little.
Any luck?
No, nothing. You? We both pause, silent.
So, that's it, right? Like, we checked all the buildings.
Can't be. You must have missed something. I'm going to try checking out the cave itself. She just stands there, watches as I head over to the far side. Shine my flashlight up and down and up again, examining every inch of the rock. It's got to be a crevice where the gold is stashed, or some other hiding place. There has to be. But none of the cracks are wide enough or deep enough for something like that. A few minutes later, I pass by Marina, still in the same place. I check her face as I go. Her eyebrows are furrowed, and she looks worried. I keep hunting. Images of Mariah triumphantly holding up the gold spur me on. Just the thought of her smug grin pisses me off. When I reach the other end of the cave, I double back and check it again. And again. Finally, Marina pulls away from the wall. I hear it, but I don't see it.
Amber, come on. There's no way.
Her voice is like a knife in my heart. It hurts because I know she's right. I sigh and flick off my flashlight. Standing there, I look at the invisible ground and have to admit the truth to myself. It's not here. There's no treasure to be found in the Mummy Cave ruins. Either we got it wrong or someone beat us to it. Whichever the answer, there's nowhere else in here that it could be. Make my way back to Marina, slowly. I feel stinging tears of frustration beginning to well up in my eyes, which surprises me. I'm sure Mariah would be laughing at me if she was here right now. Abruptly, I stop walking towards her and spin around. I don't want Marina to see. There's the sound of crunching dirt as she walks over.
Amber?
There's worry in her voice. I shake my head. I don't know if she can see. She lays her hand on my shoulder and 2 tears manage to leak out of my eyes. I shake my head again.
Amber? Amber, it's okay.
No, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I was wrong. There's nothing here.
I know there isn't. Seriously, that's okay.
I sob, not even knowing why. Damn it. Get a grip, Amber. I wrench my eyes shut before the waterworks really start. It burns, but I manage to hold back. Taking deep breaths, I get myself under control. I sink down to lean against the wall of the cave. Marina does the same. Aw. Our clothes are dusty from being on the ground so much. Marina pokes me in the side.
You okay?
I draw a rattly breath. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was about. I just got super frustrated.
Yeah, I could tell.
Can it? I flick her gently on the knee.
Ow.
But, that was, kind of embarrassing.
No, it's okay. Really, I cry all the time at home. Don't worry.
I do not have time to unpack that with you right now, but let's earmark that for later. Okay. It's like losing, not finding the treasure, I mean. So I'm mad for wasting all of our time on this. Aren't you?
No, why would I be?
She sounds genuinely surprised. Because now we're behind on the next one, too. What if someone beats us to all the rest of them?
Now you sound like me.
Oh, God, is there a cure?
I haven't found one yet. Meanie, but really, I had fun, so I don't think it was a waste of time. Even if we're not, like, super rich now, I'm glad we came here.
Once again, I don't even have to look to know how she's smiling. She's always smiling, after all. It's one of the cuter things about her, and there are lots of those. But I'm afraid to look up and meet her eyes. Afraid because of what I've been starting to feel lately, and how I've been thinking of her. It's stupid to get bothered by this now, I know. We've been together all day. But right now, when I'm already being over-emotional, I feel like it'd be a bad idea.
Amber?
And then by reflex, I do it anyway. I look over, and I was right. My heart flutters a little, but the smile I was anticipating has been replaced by yet another look of concern. Yeah, you're right. I guess it wasn't so bad. She brightens up immediately.
For realsies?
Uh-huh. I'm good now. Still. Sorry for freaking out there for a sec.
It's okay. Don't feel bad.
Groaning, I stand up again. I'm definitely going to be sore tomorrow. We should get out of here, though. Longer we spend, the more likely we are to get caught. It's probably been 45 minutes or so since we ditched the tour group. Hopefully they didn't get search and rescue out looking for us. I offer my hand to Marina, who's still sitting on the ground. She takes it, and I haul her to her feet. After dusting herself off, we both walk to the edge of the cave. It's impossible to see anything. Even the trail across the way is invisible from here. Watch your step going down the hill.
Yeah, we don't want anyone to almost die again.
Going down the hill is easier than going up, though we still have to be careful. We make it to the bottom without incident. We don't risk the flashlights until we're back across the fence and on the trail. Now that we're not out of bounds, it doesn't matter if people see us.
Where do we go now?
I think about it for a moment. There's not much point in catching up with the tour again. Besides, it's probably ended by now. Still, if they did notice that we disappeared, then it would be bad for us to just leave the park. Last thing I want to see is our faces on missing person posters the next time we stop at a gas station. But they got a 45-minute lead on us, and that'll only grow if we try to find them. We'll just go back to the parking lot and get out of here. If anyone asks, we can say we just left early.
Thank God. I was hoping you'd say that.
How come?
I'm so tired.
Same. My back is gonna hurt for a year.
At least you have the comfy bed.
Hey, you could always, grab some more pillows from the closet if you need. Do you see how she leaned into that one?
There are more?
Oh yeah, Gramps used to have like a zillion pillows when he slept.
Oh.
She sounds let down. Ugh, maybe I shouldn't have made that connection there. Don't worry, they weren't like his special pillows or anything. You can use them.
All right.
Damn, she really starts to worry when I mention him. I guess there's a good reason for that. But right now, though the thought is a familiar jab of sadness, I'm not about to break down. I'm doing okay for now. We're quiet the rest of the way down the trail, though. Without having to stick to the slow pace of a guided tour, it's actually a quick walk. There aren't any other hikers out, which surprises me. It's dark, but it's not that late. So we reached the parking lot. It seems like we had perfect timing, or maybe perfectly awful. Spilling out of the trailhead on the other side is the tour group that we were briefly a part of. I recognize the tour guide as well as...
Oh, there you girls are.
Linda. She came from my blind spot before we had time to hide. I didn't even try to force a smile as I turned to face her. She strolls up to us, Dino's still asleep. Howard's nowhere to be seen, though. Maybe he's in their car.
I was hoping to see y'all before you left.
Yeah, we were pretty tired, so we came back early.
Oh, I'll bet you are.
She winks at me like she's in on the joke. Problem is, I don't know what the joke is supposed to be. What do you mean?
Don't think I didn't notice you two running off now. Figured you were, you know.
She laughs and shakes her head.
I think that's good enough. I think that's good, though. Reminds me of me and my Howard when we were younger. We used to sneak off every chance we got, if you know what I mean. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
My face starts to turn red as I realize what she's thinking. Marina's probably tomato-colored too, though I don't turn to look. We weren't, we're not.
No need to be embarrassed or anything like that. And besides, at least you won't get pregnant.
Hey, Amber, what's pregnant? She laughs heartily, the baby on her chest bouncing with the motion.
Sorry, though, I'm getting to be a bit too nosy for my own good. Y'all girls be safe out there. It was nice to get to know ya.
She grabs my hand from my side and pumps it in a vigorous handshake, then does the same to Marina. Neither of us react, still dumbfounded. Then she heads off towards the sea of cars, more of a puddle now since most have already left. I turn to Marina. As expected, her face is scarlet.
Wow.
Right? That poor baby. And that poor husband.
I didn't think people like that were real, like that they only existed in books and movies and stuff.
And they say the desert does weird things to your head. Or maybe Wisconsin does. Has anyone ever been to Wisconsin? Does it exist? Someone should go check. I shrug and start walking back towards the RV. I'm glad that Marina doesn't push the topic of Linda's misconception. I lock the door and let Marina in first. Oh. I'll unlock the door and let Marina in first. We're one of the last ones here. Before I pull the door shut, I take a final look around Canyon to Chinle, or what little of it I can see. It may have been a bust, but like Marina said, it wasn't a total waste of time.
Aww.
Gay.
Gay.
Oh, I can click through that. I didn't realize I could click through that. I'm sorry. Inside the RV, once again, I crash down into the driver's seat and kick my feet up on the dash. It's a relief to sit on something soft. Like a satellite, Marina hovers around me, expectant. You can stop orbiting me anytime you want, you know.
I can't. It's gravity.
So, that was a failure, obviously.
Do you think it might be in a different part of the canyon?
Maybe, but we're not going to find out. We could spend days out here and not find anything. And most likely someone else found it before us. Maybe even this whole treasure hunt thing started. She stares at the ground, then perks back up.
That's okay, though. All we can do is move on.
Reaching into the glove compartment, she brings out the journal and hands it to me.
Come on, show me why the human travel guide is the best.
I look at her for a moment, then with a smile, gently take it from her. Sure thing. But that's the first and only time you are ever going to call me that, okay?
Okay.
I flipped through the journal and skimmed the pages. I skipped one of the entries last time because it looked like a jumbled puzzle, but if we're going to find the rest of the treasure, then we need to tackle this head on. Bracing myself for the confusion, I find the entry and groan.
I write to you today, not from my dear Lamasse's winged landmark, but from a destination on an unforeseen detour. During my journey eastbound, I encountered a split within the dusted road. I have encountered many of these on my travels, but this one triggered a thought. Rare for me, I know. That maybe, perhaps, I have been too obvious with my hiding. Let us assume a jealous peer wanted to track me. Paranoia or not, if they so desired, they easily could. My steed's prints are set within the sand, and I have not disguised my livelihood. In fact, one may call these a trail. If one were to follow this trail, they may even happen upon my bounty. The likelihood of this is very slim. However, I've always considered myself to be a man who only takes calculated risks. Which is why I am shocked that that this thought has never crossed my mind before.
This man is insufferable.
Surely, an intelligent, rugged, and worldly individual such as myself would have come to this conclusion by now. Or perhaps I am none of those things. Nonetheless, I marked the split and took the path I felt was less traveled. After I had covered enough distance, I found a satisfactory location. Acres of identical arched stone were spread across this area. The more I traveled, the more there were. On occasion I had seen some, but never so close together, nor so plentiful. Though I do worry one could narrow down the gold if they had the will. Alas, the remnants of my illness reappeared, forcing me to find a resting site. Eventually I settled between two stones, unlike the arched stone. I often feared they would fall or collapse on me, but their balance seemed steady, and they provided shade and scenery.
Oh, this is in Arches, right? This is in Utah.
Maybe. So, once again, I am rested and determined. While this detour took precious time away from me, I very much feel it was worth the security it provides, even if it was unnecessary. P.S. This morning I looked in my pouch. It would appear as if I have enough gold for one last burial. Lamasse's landmark seems more than proper for this.
Yeah. So he's absolutely talking about what is now Arches National Park. Which is a place I've been to. This is exciting. This is part. This is part of the stuff I actually start to recognize now.
How were the arches?
Legitimately, if we ever post-COVID, if you ever want to go out there at some point, that would be a fantastic vacation idea. Because Arches National Park is genuinely awe-inspiring when you see it. It's one thing to look at the pictures and be like, oh, that's neat, and then seeing them up close, it's genuinely holy crap.
Where I was about in Texas, we only had one arch. We all had to share it.
Out here in the East, all they have are the golden arches, if you know what I mean. Hey, but legitimately, arches. I didn't get to see a lot of national parks and stuff like that growing up, but the one that was the one I felt most awed by. I would say it was genuinely a wonderful experience, and I would love to go back there sometime.
We can.
Yeah, maybe. It would involve going out on a trip on a plane. I don't do those anymore.
Or by car for a really long time.
I am not doing that.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no, does that mean you don't know where it's at?
The opposite. I know exactly where it's at.
Then what's the problem?
I lean back in the chair and look at the ceiling. It's in Arches National Park.
You called it. Cool, then let's go.
I ignore her and keep looking up at the ceiling. Arches has over 2,000 natural stone arches. The miner said he hit it between 2 stones. She blinks and I sigh. An arch is a rock formation that curves in the air. Think of it like an upside-down U.
Okay, so let's start with you, and then we can go on to rock.
Finally, she gets the message. Her face morphs into a blank canvas and she stares out at the windshield.
Oh no.
And I think what he might be talking about is because there's other stuff in there aside from just the arches.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some a balanced rock, like literally one that's called balanced rock, which is like a huge rock that is balanced super improbably.
That's
There's tons
cool.
of stone columns and shit as well. It's there is so much cool shit out there. Rocks are really cool.
They are. I used to like going in the caves near our one arch.
Was there really an arch near, like a stone arch?
Yeah, Natural Bridge Caverns was the place. There was one stone natural bridge type thing, like arch thing.
Yeah.
And then there was some cool little caves.
That's awesome.
We'd go out there every year.
That's really cool. That's genuinely really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we want to find this thing, then we need to look between every single arch in Arches. For a moment of petrified silence, because the petrified woods are also close by, Marina takes back the journal and returns it to its proper place in the glove compartment. With a shaky smile, Marina looks back at me and tries blowing it off.
Arches National Park, huh? It's somewhere in Moab, right? You ever been?
With a shaky grin of my own, I respond, totally ignoring the impossible feat ahead of us. Yeah, I went to Moab once a long time ago. Arches is really famous, like world famous. God, I have stories about Moab, the town, Moab. Ugh. We're both sweating, staring at the long road ahead of us as we try to make casual conversation. It's like a game of chicken. Who's gonna break first?
I've always wanted to go.
Where have you vacationed to before?
Honestly, nowhere. Not out of the state, at least.
For real? Not even to visit family?
Nuh-uh. My grandparents live in New Mexico, too. I think only my big brother has been outside of the state.
You got any other siblings, or is it just you two? She shakes her head.
There's 9 of us. I've got 2 younger brothers, 3 older brothers, an older sister, and 2 little sisters.
I whistle. Damn, that's a big-ass Christmas card.
Right? At some point, it's just aren't you ever gonna stop? I'm almost out of fingers to count on.
Chuckling, I stand up and walk to the back. Marina follows behind me.
What about you? Do you have any siblings?
Nah, just me. Otherwise, they'd probably be riding around in this old thing with us. As I say that, I collapse down onto my bed, sprawling out. Sitting up front felt good, but this is heavenly. The bed sinks a little as she takes a seat on its edge. Can't really imagine having a single brother or sister. Definitely not 8 of them. But I guess they don't all live at home?
Actually...
You're kidding.
Only one of my brothers has moved out. It's the worst. You have to make a reservation to take a shower.
No wonder you ran away.
Pretty much, as soon as I finished school, I was just okay, time to get out of here.
How long ago was that?
Just a couple months. 2-ish.
And what did you major in?
Huh?
What'd you get your degree in?
Oh, not college. High school. I just finished high school.
Huh? Using my elbows, I prop myself up.
What?
How old are you? Putting her hands on her hips, Marina puffs out her cheeks and looks offended.
I'll have you know, it's very rude to ask a lady her age.
She deflates.
But I'm 18. Why?
Oh, thank God. I let myself fall back again. I was afraid you're going to be underage and that I'd get arrested for kidnapping or something.
No way. And besides, I told you my parents were fine with it. Well, accepted it. What about you? How old are you?
Just a year older.
Wait, you're only 19?
Now it's her turn to be shocked. How old did you think I was? Marina busts up laughing. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed. I look away, blowing my hair away from my face.
Just kidding, just kidding. I figured you were my age or a bit older. 2 years at the most.
I don't look at her, staring at the wall.
Oh, come on. Don't be mad. I was just playing.
All of a sudden, she seems seriously regretful. I want to mess with her, but the puppy dog look she gives me over her shoulder is too hard to resist. Sorry, what? My hearing must be getting bad in my old age. She throws a pillow at me from the bed beside her, and I deflect it with my arm.
Good save, Granny.
Now she leans back too, staring up at the ceiling. Her head spreads across my leg. I don't move it. Then I realize that all the worry and nervousness we had about Arches is gone. Somewhere along the line, we just forgot about it. Huh. I don't even know when we reached the point in our relationship where we can be comfortable being this close to each other, but I'm glad that we have. Maybe I'm enjoying the closeness a little too much. It's been a long time since I dated someone. Gramps' health made having a girlfriend impossible. There just wasn't time for anyone else. Hell, I hardly had time for myself. Not that I cared. I'd do it all over again. But still, it's nice. Having someone to talk to so it's not just me and my thoughts. Just as I'm about to settle into the mood, she sits up and stretches.
I'm pretty sleepy. Are you going to bed soon?
Nah, I took a nap earlier, so I'm good. It's only a few hours to Moab, so I'll drive us there tonight.
Moab, huh?
Well, yeah. Something wrong?
No, I was just kind of wondering.
She trails off. Wondering?
How far away is the Grand Canyon?
From here? I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, but it's in the total opposite direction that we're going.
Oh, okay.
The crestfallen look on her face should be illegal.
Sorry, I should have looked at the map before I asked.
Smiling, she turns and heads for bed, disappointment clinging to her like perfume.
Night, Amber.
Leaning against my pillows, I watch as she slowly trots off to the back. Come on now, I'm not that heartless. Wait a sec. She freezes mid-step. I guess since I was going to drive all night anyway, we can make a detour. Pretty big detour, too, so don't blame me if all the treasure is gone by the time we're done. She turns around, hope springing in her face now. But I guess it's like a requirement that you see the Grand Canyon when you're sightseeing in Arizona, so that's what we'll do. We've got a lot of vacations to make up for.
Zoom!
I love the way she moves around while she's talking to it. All of the tiredness and disappointment vanishes in an instant.
What?
Like a bird taking flight, she hurries back over to where I'm just standing up. Nothing, honey. Nothing at all. A trademark Marina crash tackle hug knocks me onto my butt in bed again. I pat her on the back a couple of times before she rises.
Have I ever told you you're the best?
Probably, but you don't you forget it.
I couldn't if I tried.
Goof. I poke her in the belly as I make my way up to the front again. Grab me an energy drink from the fridge, will you? When she sits down in the passenger seat, she has 2 cans of the energy drink. I thought you were going to bed?
No way, I'm way too excited now. I'll keep you company on the drive. Plus, it's only like 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Beats me. Sounds about right, though. I pop open the top of my drink and take a long draught. It tastes awful, but it wakes me up a little. It wakes me up like nothing else. Just the makers cut out sweeteners and nice flavors for more stimulants. To drink it faster, I hold my breath to hide the taste and chug. Gasping, I crumple the empty can and toss it into a trash bag. Marina, on the other hand, sips it daintily, while wincing each time.
People seriously drink this stuff?
Would you describe what I just did as drinking? Somehow. Works, though. Pretty much the strongest stuff you can get without a prescription. After taking another sip, Marina retches and sticks her tongue out. She reminds me of a cat with fur stuck on its tongue. She sets the can in the cup holder beside me.
You want mine? I can't drink this.
I'd have a heart attack if I drank too. Just leave it and I'll drink it tomorrow. Because the only way to improve an awful energy drink is to let it get warm and flat. As I start the RV...
Or to mix it with absinthe.
Oh no, that's a different kind of problem.
Monster and absinthe.
Jesus Christ, are you trying to kill me? So I start the RV.
I call it Kinzo's demise. Kinzo's gamble. 50-50 on whether you'll survive the night.
As I start the RV, Marina says something, but it's soft enough that I can't hear her over the engine revving. What was that? Old lady hearing failing on me once again. Smiling, she shakes her head.
I was just saying thanks again.
Don't thank me yet. I could fall asleep at the wheel and kill us both.
At least I'd die happy. No, though, not just that. For taking me with you and doing the treasure hunt and everything.
You must be super tired. You're saying all sorts of weird stuff now.
I mean it. I know it's kind of random. I'm just really happy I met you.
After a moment of blushing, I laugh a little harder under my breath. Yeah, me too. I prevent any more cheesy conversation by carefully pulling out of the parking lot and back onto the exit road. I'm definitely glad that Marina's enjoying herself. I'm having fun too, but talking about that sort of thing, it makes me feel all squirmy inside. Like I don't match up to what Marina thinks of me. Pushing those thoughts out of my head, I focus on the road. We have to keep our eyes peeled for animals out here. There are lots of stray dogs in this part of the state and dozens of deer and antelope just waiting to race cars. The road's devoid of other vehicles though, and since I know the exits to take, more or less, we should make a pretty good time. Once we get back onto the highway, Marina hoists the bucket of tapes onto her lap.
What do you want to listen to?
I glance between the road and the bin, scanning both. I settle on an album that I haven't had the heart to listen to in a while, but it feels like tonight is the right time. I fish out the tape and slide it into the player. As the first chords start up, I watch Marina's face for reaction. It won't have the same sentimental value to her, but it's an emotional album in general. Lots of dynamics to the music and simple but heartfelt songwriting. Gramps used to try to play along, but he said he couldn't quite capture the feeling himself. So I'd hoped Marina's quiet, which means that she's listening. Her cheek is pressed against the window again. Her reflection barely visible. Looks wistful. Good. For the second time today, a growing pressure starts in my eyes. I paw at them and the motion catches Marina's attention.
You sure you're not too tired?
Oh yeah, eyes are just a little itchy. Damn it, my voice shakes as I speak, but if she notices, she doesn't say anything. This album was another one of Gramps' favorites, and there's a reason I haven't listened to it since he passed. Turning it on might have been a mistake. We may yet go off the road if I end up crying, or I might just die of embarrassment. I sniffle a couple of times to keep myself under control. Damn allergies. I don't even know if she hears me. I'm kind of tempted to turn it off and play something else, but I want Marina to hear it. It won't mean anything special to her, I'm sure, but I just want to see what she thinks. To see if maybe Gramps and I were crazy or if there was more to the music than the man playing it. He was a guitarist and songwriter who went just by the name of June. Died a few years ago. Finding back the nostalgia and the bubbling feelings of how much I miss Gramps is hard. I'm able to hold on, though, and keep from breaking down. 45 minutes later, when the tape ends, Marina hits the play button again to start it over. I'd say it was worth it. I let it play on for hours, long after Marina's fallen asleep beside me.
I love this game.
This game is great. I am so glad we're playing this.
Yeah, my first Studio Élan game.
Yeah!
I've been meaning to since Studio Élan was a thing I heard about and never gotten around to it.
The thing is, the studio's been on our radar for a while, and which is why I wound up playing one of their games when it came out on Switch.
Yeah.
But we just haven't had room in the schedule yet to get it on the channel. And while we were in this break right here, we really wanted to make sure we made time for it, and I'm glad we did because this is exactly our kind of crap.
Oh yeah,
like this is exactly what we love to do on this channel. And you could bet we'll be playing more from them in the future.
Oh yeah.
I think we got a little more time in this episode. Let's go for another scene or two. Everything aches. It takes me a long, lazy minute to remember why I'm sitting up, forehead plastered to the steering wheel, rather than in my bed. I drove all through the night to get us to the Grand Canyon, arriving at the South Rim right around the time that I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. We're at a campsite apparently, but I don't remember anything past reaching the park's edge and paying the entry fee. I probably shouldn't have been driving, but we made it here all right. A sour taste pervades my mouth, courtesy of the empty energy drink at my side. I groan as I clamber up and go to brush my teeth. When I exit the bathroom, Marina's waiting at the front, all dressed and ready to go.
Good morning.
It is morning. I'm still too sleepy to match her enthusiasm. Undeterred, she comes forward and presses a mug into my hands.
I made you some coffee. But it was a couple hours ago, so it's kind of cold now.
Thanks. It's also brewed too weak, but I don't tell her that. I drain my cup in seconds and then pour myself another. That's also finished in a few long gulps.
You really like coffee, huh?
Oh, did you see she got bags under her eyes now? I guess. I think I'm just addicted.
You don't even put any cream or sugar in it, right?
Nope. Always drink it black. She wrinkles her nose in disgust.
I can't stand the taste.
I noticed. You gone and looked around yet? There are dozens, if not hundreds of people milling around, and that's just what I can see from here. Most likely the treasure hunters.
Look around without you?
Yeah, it's what, noon?
Almost, but I didn't want to leave without you.
That's sweet of her.
What if I got lost? You're like my map.
Maybe not.
Besides, it's boring to go look around by myself.
You think? I used to do it a lot before we met up. It was nice to be alone and think. Her face falls. Seconds later, I realize my mistake and mentally kick myself. Not to say I don't like having you around. It's just... I meant it's not so bad being on your own for a little bit. She ponders for a moment.
Well, I don't like being alone.
A small frown makes me think she's upset, but then it melts away and is replaced with her trademark smile. Something about how the sunlight frames her face right then makes my heart skip a beat. I want to admire her for longer, but I think my face gives it away. Soon, she shifts, asking with her eyes.
Something wrong?
Very many things, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
I shake my head to clear it. Nah, sorry, just zoned out for a second. Let me finish this coffee and then we can go.
Okay. I don't know how you can be up and at 'em just like that. Usually it takes me hours to wake up.
I know. I do a lot of waiting for you. Marina stomps over to play hit me on the shoulder.
Meanie, I do my best for you.
Yeah. There aren't enough hours in the day for you to sleep as much as you want.
What, are you saying I don't need my beauty sleep?
She's just kidding, but I freeze. She is joking, right?
Amber?
The jaunty tone in her voice is gone. Yeah. I croak out a response.
Zone out again?
Something like that. Even I'm surprised by how off guard that caught me. It was just a simple joke, but it was a little too relevant. Seconds after thinking of how pretty she looks. I need to stop being so weird sometimes, or that'll scare her off more than her finding out that I might, just maybe, could possibly have a crush on her.
Maybe you just need more coffee.
Yeah, that's it. Pour me 5 cups. Probably. Her grin gets huge.
You need as much coffee as I do sleep. See, we're even.
I laugh as I pour myself a 3rd cup, tilting the pot to get the dregs. Maybe you're right. She prances back to the front door, nose held in the air like she's won some sort of great victory. I catch her peeking back to see if I'm watching, so I make a big show of rolling my eyes. She sticks her tongue out in return. When I set my cup down in the sink, Marina throws the door open and waits for me to step out. For having been mostly asleep and in the dark, it looks like I did an okay job parking. By which I mean that we're actually in one of the designated camping spaces. More than I can say for a lot of the others here. Tents cover nearly every patch of land that doesn't have an RV on it. Some even come right up against the road itself, causing the few cars that pass by to have to hug the edge. Just like back in Shiprock, this is a fiasco. Squads of little kids rampage around, squirting each other and everyone else with water guns and just being in the way. One little brat runs up to us and holds up his squirt gun like he's going to shoot me, but the death glare that I give him sends him running back in the other direction.
Not a fan of kids?
Not the rotten ones. Marina, on the other hand, waves at the retreating boy and giggles as a weak burst of water hits her. I don't know how you can stand it.
They're just kids. Besides, I'm pretty used to it.
Big family, right?
Yep.
We start to walk in the direction of the canyon itself, pausing sometimes to let cars or tour groups pass us by. This is such a mess. Wonder how many of them are treasure hunters.
Well, it's the Grand Canyon, so a lot of people are probably just regular tourists, right?
Yeah, probably. Feel bad for them and all the other people who just want to enjoy these parks.
You really hate people, huh?
What? Where did that come from?
I don't know, you're just always complaining about there being too many people around.
Do I really complain that much? Thinking about it, I guess I kinda do. I don't hate people. I just don't like it when it's all chaotic like this.
So you don't like crowds, then?
That's a bit closer, yeah.
Kinda weird that you're so hyped for this music thing, then, don't you think? Isn't that gonna be the biggest crowd yet?
Sure, but that's different.
Why?
I don't know, it just is.
Why?
What are you, 5? No wonder you get along with kids so well. We both laugh. But I guess it's just because everyone is there for the same thing. You have something in common with them.
Isn't everyone here for the same thing?
Yeah, but I struggle to find an explanation, but she laughs it off and shrugs.
I'm just kidding anyway. You can't be the only one who teases. You don't like big crowds, and that's fine.
What about you?
I think it's fun, and besides, you get to meet all sorts of cool people. Who knows, maybe you'll meet a special someone or a long-lost relative or something.
Don't jinx it. Special someone, huh? Maybe. Would be pretty unlikely, though.
Probably, but it's still fun to think about. And speaking of odds, Amber.
Marina points at another cluster of motorhomes down the road. I follow her gaze, immediately understanding. Taking up 2 spaces, because of size and bad parking, is a familiar titan of an RV. God, no. But Marina's already heading towards it. My nemesis. Mariah's motorhome.
Motorhome.
I can't English sometimes,
I like
okay?
motorhome. It's a piece of artillery.
The door flies open seconds before Marina reaches it. Out strolls Joseph, Tess close behind. Yeah, you call that a break? I've had boyfriends last that longer.
Sis has never had a boyfriend.
My point, exactly.
Quit your moaning. You two just need more work ether.
I think you mean ethics, but you probably never heard the word. Mariah appears in the doorway, leaning on a shovel. I can see her about to retort, but then she spots either me or Marina, and her glare is replaced with a smug grin.
Well, look who finally caught up. Hey guys!
Hey there, ladies. I sigh and speed up my glacial pace. May as well get this over with. Mariah picks up a crate of tools from beside her and carries them out, before shoving the crate into Joseph's hands. His knees buckle at the weight and he sets it on the ground.
Did you follow our dust all the way here?
I wish you'd seen it so we could have stayed away.
Maybe you should go now and get a head start on the next piece before we find the one here.
She clutches her shovel like a sword and points it at me.
Unless you're gonna fight for this one too.
Strike the earth! Boop-a-doo! I raise my hands in surrender. We already had one bust at Canyon to Chinle. This one's all yours to screw up. The shovel drops a couple of inches, either as a response or because her arm's getting sore.
Canyon de Chinle, but there's only one Grand Canyon.
There's more than one canyon in the world, Mari. I figured it was at the Mummy Cave ruins, but we didn't find anything. So if you want to search all 2,000 miles of the Grand Canyon, then good luck.
Damn it.
Mariah throws down her hands and the tool bag slips from her, plummeting onto Joseph's foot. Hard. Oh, hey! Ow! The crates in his hand are the next to fall, this time on the other foot. Double ow! The boxes burst open, flooding the ground with heavy hammers and wrenches. A gasp escapes his mouth, then silence.
Are you gonna get drunk and cry yourself to sleep again, sis?
Somehow, through pained grunts, Joseph manages to speak. The limit is once per week. Mariah's eyes twitch. In one smooth motion, she whirls around and clunks her companions' heads, huffs, and crosses her arms. Joseph reacts like any normal human being and rubs his head to soothe his never-ending pain. Tess hardly acknowledges it, wobbling back and forth like a human bobblehead. I don't think I'll ever get over how creepy that girl is. She clunks Joseph again for good measure. Marina and I both wince. I imagine this is how it was for Howard when he first met Linda. At least we get to see the canyon that way.
Wow, I sounded like you for a second there.
Oh.
At least we got to see the canyon that way.
Jesus! Mary and Joseph! Out of nowhere, Tess pops up at my side. She's been wanting to go out and see the sights, but Mariah's too busy breaking her back for that.
Big sisters are bossy, huh?
Tess nods, which prompts Marina to stoop down and hug her apathetic kindred spirit.
You're not alone.
Marina looks up at me, eyes big.
Can we keep her? She's so cute. That's property theft.
Sorry, only one stray at a time.
Aww.
Marina releases Tess and reaches out her hand as they float apart. Anyway, let's get going. If they're going to waste all day here, we can at least leave them to it. But Mariah waves her shovel in Joseph's face.
Pick up our crap. We're going to rethink our strategy.
Crab?
Yes, this crap.
She taps the crate that she just forced on him minutes ago. Joseph covers Tess's ears, then mutters something that I can't make out.
Wait, I have an idea.
4 pairs of eyes turn to look at her.
Me and Amber were about to go sightseeing. Why don't you guys come with us?
That is a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea.
No, we have to do it in time with one another. That's a terrible idea. Oh, Mike, we can't do this. Hey, we agree on something. But Tessa's eyes sparkle with determination, nodding as she reaches up to tug on Mariah's suit.
That's 1 vote yes.
She turns to me, pleading look in her eyes, hoping it to make 2 yes votes.
That implying that Marina isn't a yes vote yet?
I think that sounds like a good time, too. Be a nice break.
I forbid it. You've already had a break. We have too much to focus on. Getting distracted by dusty old rocks is the last thing we need.
You always say that, but look at her. He points to Tess, her face shining with interest since the word sightseeing. When did she last show interest in something? Hell, has she ever shown interest in something?
We're still not going.
An irritable groan rumbles through Joseph's throat, but he still looks as casual and relaxed as he usually does. Look, we're not always going to do what you want just because you say so. We're going, and if we have to, we'll force you to come along. Marina laughs awkwardly.
It's fine, it's fine. You guys don't have to come if you don't want to.
But it's too late for that. Mariah lets out a single disingenuous ha and marches to Joseph.
You're gonna force me to go, huh?
That's right. She stares him down, or up to be accurate. The top of her head only reaches up to his chin. Regardless, she gives him a nasty grin and repeatedly pokes his chest for daring to defy her. This doesn't seem to faze him, though, as his lips curl into an ominous smile.
And how exactly do you plan to do that?
And we'll have to get to their Grand Canyon adventures next time. Next time?
Next time.
Next time.
Next time.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.